So first matchup of this wildcard weekend, we have the Houston Texans facing the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are traveling to Houston. They are 10-6. The Texans are 11-5. They split both matchups in the regular season, and they actually scored 58 points total combined. And there's a bunch of things going on in this one. You got Andrew Luck. You got Deshaun Watson. This is a big-time matchup, division matchup, starting the playoffs. Bobby, what do you think?
Well, this is a division rival, so it's going to be a great game to watch in the first game of the playoffs to start it. And we could talk about this. So Andrew Luck, since coming back from his injury, his two-year absence, his completion percentage so far this year was 67.3, which is very good.
Yeah.
He averaged 287.1 passing yards per game. He had 39 touchdown passes, 15 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 98.7. That's pretty good for coming back from his injury. So, on the other hand, you had Deshaun Watson coming back from his ACL surgery. How did he do? His completion percentage, 68.3. He averaged 260 passing yards per game. He had 26 touchdown passes, 9 picks with a quarterback rating of 103.1. So these two are pretty even. And let's talk about this matchup. Look, the Texans, that receiving core of theirs is pretty depleted, don't you think? Since they lost, they don't have Kiki QT. We don't know what's going to happen. He's a game-time decision.
Yeah, he's questionable.
And they don't have Demaryius Thomas because he tore his Achilles. And also, you don't have Will Fuller because he's out for the year as well. So, this receiving core, but they're going to have to find a way, and it's going to be with Deshaun Watson. And, of course, Nuke, DeAndre Hopkins. And here's some stuff. DeAndre Hopkins had the most receptions this year in the NFL. He had 115 without a drop. He had 0 drops this year. You throw it his way, he's going to get it. And that's in a season since that became a stat in 2007. That's something. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. This matchup, we saw what the Colts could do. Their defense is getting better. They got that rookie, Leonard, who's a very good linebacker. Look, I'm going to tell you this. The way to beat how are you going to beat the Texans if you're the Colts?
You're going to have to throw it on them. Their pass defense isn't that great.
Yep.
They're ranked 17th in the league, I believe, in the passing defense, looks to me.
And also, you're going to have to pressure.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. They're 28th in the league against the pass.
There you go.
So 260 yards against the pass, but they're very good against the run. 82 yards a game, only third against the run. Overall, the Texans' defense is 5th. The Colts are 6th in the league in passing, so can Andrew Luck exploit that secondary that seemed to be problematic for the Texans this year? The only issue with Luck is that T.Y. Hilton is banged up. He will play most likely, but he's hurting. And there's also Eric Ebron is the X factor for me. 13 touchdowns, 750 yards, 66 catches. The Colts revived his career, and he's from Newark, New Jersey. Great to see New Jersey doing well.
Really?
Yes, so NJ all day for Ebron.
Okay, so I agree with you on that. And also, another way to beat the Texans is you're going to have to pressure the quarterback because Deshaun Watson was sacked 62 times this season. And
the Colts sacked him 12 times in their 2 matchups, by the way.
Yep, averaging 6 that's crazy. So you gotta. It's been a problem. And since the Texans became a team in 2002, was it? Yeah, 2002.
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback? David Carr, who got sacked, 68 times?
Poor David Carr.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised that guy's still alive after all the abuse he took that year.
It seems to be a trend. That
they can't hold up their quarterbacks, and that is not a recipe for success.
So here's what he's been sacked 62 times this season. That is tied for the most by a quarterback to make the playoffs in the Super Bowl era. Something to look forward to. So, with the Colts, we talked about T.Y. Hilton. He will play. Yes, he is banged up with his ankle injury. We saw that. But T.Y. Hilton, he's averaging nearly twice as many receiving yards per game versus the Texans this season. Oh, yeah, how many does he average a game? 157. And
that's big time.
Versus any other opponent. Any other opponent he plays, he averages 7.
So his health is going to be huge. Yes. If he's even a fraction of what he normally is, I'm expecting a huge day for T.Y.
Yeah, listen. And the thing is, too, the Colts receiving core is limited, too, because Ryan Grant is out.
And I believe they're missing someone else, too, potentially. Lewis is out. I think he might be,
No.
So,
listen, the The Colts are the third team in the Super Bowl era to start the season 1-5 and make the playoffs. The Texans are the sixth team to start 0-3 to make the playoffs.
Yes, they both. It's very interesting you bring this up because they both started horribly. Whoever thought they would both rebound and make the playoffs? Let me tell you another fun stat. Since week 7, the Colts are 9-1. And the Texans are 8-2. So these are two of the hottest teams going right now.
Football, yep.
This is going to be some battle. It's a pick'em almost. The Texans are 1.5-point favorite. But you know what? I'm going Colts here. I think Andrew Luck gets it done. I like what I see from him. I think he's going to win it. I like that playoff experience. Watson is clutch and he has experience in the college level, but he still hasn't played in the NFL playoffs yet. And we have seen the Texans lose big playoff games at home before.
Yes, we have. So, listen, one strength of the Texans, and we could talk about, is their pass rush with J.J. Watt, Davian Clowney, Whitney Merciless, and
the only issue, but the Colts got Nelson, and they've only given up 18 sacks.
That was what I was going to say. Yep, to get to the quarterback and make him make mistakes, and that's easier said than done. 18 sacks, that's the fewest.
Although the Texans did sack him 6 times. So they have a third of those sacks, which is interesting.
So, yeah.
So they'll get a couple, I think, but the Colts will get more because the Texans can't protect Watson, obviously.
I'm going to tell you this all in all. I think the Texans getting done. Look, they're home.
Doesn't matter.
Listen, I know that, but listen, they're home. I think Deshaun Watson's going to come out fire. He's hungry because last year, if he didn't get hurt, there's arguably they could have been a top seed in the playoffs. And look, he's going to work with what he has. And Nuke Hopkins is going to make plays. They're going to struggle covering him. Lamar Miller is going to have a big day. I think the X factor for the Texans, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think their X factor is going to be their Carter. That guy, DeAndre Carter. He's going to have to play receiver due to the injuries.
Oh, wow.
He's fast. He was on the Eagles. I think he's the X factor. You're going to see Deshaun Watson go to him a lot. You're going to see Deshaun Watson making plays with his legs and causing that defense to
he does have 500 yards rushing and 5 TDs, so Watson will get those yardage running. And the Colts, here's my other fun fact for the Colts. In their last 6 matchups against the Texans, another reason why I'm taking them, they are 5-1 straight up. They have won 5 of 6, and against the spread, they are 5-1 against the Texans.
Wow,
this team is profitable against the Texans, and I'm going to roll them one more time. I'm taking the horseshoe. I'm taking Andrew Luck.
Okay, so I'm taking the Texans.
So what else? When you look at this matchup, here's how I see this going. I think it's going to be a nail-biter in the fourth quarter. I think Luck is going to get the ball last, and I think the Colts are going to win it 28-27.
I will tell you this. I could see that happening. I'll agree with you, but I think it's going to be a different story, and I think J.J. Watt's going to get a strip sack, and I think Jadeveon Clowney's going to pick it up and bring it into the end zone to end the game. So I'm going to tell you this. I think defense wins championships. I will tell you this now. I think the Texans' defense comes to play. I think they will get to the quarterback. I think Andrew Luck is going to be under duress all game. I do believe he will make plays. It's going to be I think it's going to be in the 20s, low 30s, I think, for both. I'm going to go with 31-28 Texans. And Texans are going to go up to Foxborough.
I'm going to say the Colts because that defense is better than you think. I think Darius Leonard has been outstanding for them. Malik Hooker's been a good pick as well. And they're ranked 10th overall. I know the Texans are ranked 5th, but I just think Luck is going to make a few more plays. I just like what I'm seeing from him. They've only had one dud since week 7. They got shut out against Jacksonville. But other than that, this team has been rolling. Ever since the Jets beat them. I don't know what happened. Ever since that day, they dropped to 1-5. They've been a totally different team. I'm going to ride Colts, baby. Let's see if we can get that first dub.
Yep, we'll see what happens.
So the next matchup we have is the Seahawks and the Cowboys.
These two teams are the worst teams in the playoffs, I will say that.
That's what we have them both rated as, basically.
Yep.
So they're both 10-6, and they did play each other in week 3. And the Cowboys lost, but 2 things have changed since then. 2 huge things. First of all, Earl Thomas is no longer with the Seahawks since he got hurt.
Cam Chancellor's no longer with the team, right?
No, I know, but he hasn't played with them this year at all.
No, I'm saying I'm leading up to this.
Okay, I got you. Okay, my bad. But so also the Cowboys didn't have Cooper, and that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So We look at this matchup. Let's break it down with everything we can. The Seahawks are 4-4 on the road. The Cowboys are 7-1 at home. The Cowboys, and of course, the only game the Cowboys lost at home was the time I picked them to win in my eliminator. So they won all the other 7, but they couldn't get that one I needed them to. Unbelievable. But anyway, that's a side note. They're 5-2-1 to cover at home, and the Seahawks are 4-3-1. You got the offenses and the defenses here. The Seahawks rush offense is actually better than the Cowboys rushing attack. They rank first in the NFL. And they're led by Russell Wilson, Carson, you even got Penny, and even Mike Davis. So you got 4 guys running that ball. And they average 160 yards a game rushing.
Which is first in the NFL, I believe.
Yes, it is. Although their passing is down, only averaging 193 yards a game, which puts them at 27th in the league. But they've scored 26.8 points, which is surprising to me, and it puts them as the 7th best offense in the league, which just shows how amazing Russell Wilson is, that he can take that cast and make them the 7th best offense in the NFL. Doug Baldwin has barely even played this year. He's been a margin of himself, only getting 618 yards. His best receiver doesn't even have 1,000 yards. Tyler Lockett has 965. He's a home run hitter with 57 catches and 10 touchdowns, so look for Wilson to connect with Lockett on some deep shots, I would say. Also, Chris Carson, breakout season. I was wrong about Carson. I thought Penny was going to take over. Carson dusted him. 1,151 yards, 9 touchdowns. Carson was outstanding. Russell Wilson, again, another great season. 35 touchdowns, just 7 picks. 3,500 yards almost, 66% completion, 376 rushing yards. His quarterback rating 111, his QBR 65. Russell Wilson's a beast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so Russell Wilson, with the limited cast he has, what does he do? He just makes them look great. And they're a playoff team if you would have told me in the beginning of this year that the Seattle Seahawks were going to be 10-6 and make the playoffs, I probably would have laughed at you.
So I would have laughed too. This is the most improbable team in here to me, almost. Because the other teams had bad starts, but you could have or Dallas is kind of improbable too, maybe, the way things started. But Seahawks have been the most surprising to me by far. And the Cowboys are home. Jason Garrett, 0-2 in playoff games against the spread at home. He's a 2.5-point favorite. And the Seahawks, look out. They like being underdogs. They are 5-0 against the spread as underdogs, and they've won 3 of those 5. So the Cowboys better watch out. I can see the Seahawks getting it done.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you.
You are going to go Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dallas.
You're going to go with those choke artists? You think Dak Prescott's going to get it done when he has to? Come on, man.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you, look, Dak Prescott.
I don't trust Dak Prescott for anything.
Listen, Dak Prescott, they're playing on primetime, and he has 12 wins in primetime since entering the NFL.
All right.
So that's something to look forward to. And he also got Zeke Elliott, who led the NFL in rushing yards per game for the 3rd straight season and led the Cowboys in targets at 95, and he had 77 receptions.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize he caught that many passes.
Yes, yeah.
So he's more of a threat than I thought in the passing game.
And listen, Amari Cooper
that's the big X factor. He's the key.
Amari Cooper has really changed this team, and that's why they're in the position.
Oh yeah, right now. If they didn't trade for Coop, they're not even a playoff team.
Absolutely
Since
not.
Coop has came over, you may have been about to touch on this, but
it's safe to say that trade really worked out to perfection.
And it's going to end up being a 20s pick too, so it's not even like that good of a pick. Yeah. Anyway, so Coop has caught 53 balls for 700 yards, a little over, and 6 touchdowns since joining Dallas. He's really given them a shot in the arm. He's allowed Dak to open up the field. Prescott also has 22 touchdowns, 8 picks. He's got 305. Yeah, he has 3,865 yards. His quarterback rating is 97. His QBR is 57. Okay, he's ran for 305 yards and scored 6 touchdowns. That's what I was looking at. And he's completed 67% of his passes, but Russell Wilson is way better than him. Russ, 8-4 in the playoffs, Super Bowl champion. Give me the hardware. Give me the pedigree. Russell Wilson, Hawks chalk.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you for some unknown reason. I feel that Dallas is just going to get it done. I just get those feelings sometimes. So I'm going to tell you, I think Dallas gets it done, and here's how they're going to get it done.
Let's see.
I think that they're going to have Dak win the game by throwing it, and I think Amari.
What?
Listen. I know that's crazy.
You're trying to say Dak's gonna win the game with his arm? Are you serious?
Look.
I mean, he's got Coop, but
hear it out. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Cole Beasley. You saw what he did.
Okay.
I think Cole Beasley is going to give the Eagles. The Seahawks trouble.
It's okay. They're both birds. Yeah. You're not too far off.
So
we'll get to them later.
I think that he is going to give them a lot of trouble. I think that Dak Prescott. Look, and also by the way, I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
What?
No, they're not going to make him win the game by throwing it. The way they're going to win this game is they're going to have to stop Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And listen, I think the Cowboys' defense is extremely underrated. So here's another thing. Listen, those linebackers they have, Van Der Esch, Sean Lee, if he is going to play.
Is he?
Yes.
That's a big thing. I didn't even realize he's coming back.
From what I heard, that he's a game time decision, but I think they're leaning towards playing. Oh yeah, and Jalen Smith, I think, is one of the best young linebackers in the league.
What about Van Der Esch?
Van Der Esch, I said that.
You said him before?
Yeah, he's good. Yep. I'm going to say this now. I think Dallas's defense is going to give Russell Wilson some trouble. I think Russell Wilson will throw a bad interception.
Whoa.
I think, and
that's pretty uncharacteristic.
For Russell Wilson throwing a bad interception.
Okay, the one time, all right. Well, he should have won 2 Super Bowls. Oops. I guess I kind of ran into that one.
Yeah, you did. So,
I did.
So listen. Dak is going to make some throws, but listen, he convinced me that he could pass the ball. Look, Dak against the Giants.
Are you sure?
Look at what he did. That was a nice
throw.
But
it's the G-men. The G-men are irrelevant. They're 5-11. The Giants can't cover anyone. Anyone can play against the Giants. Come on, man.
Stop, man. Oh my God.
Anyone can play against the G-men.
I understand that, but listen, that throw was a really nice throw.
No, it was. I'll give you that. You're right.
Listen, Dak this year, especially against the Eagles game, what did he do? That whole drive, when they drove down to win the game in overtime against the Eagles this year, it was all him.
You're right, okay.
What's his name? Zeke Elliott. They stopped him a lot.
You're right. So, the Eagles also have no secondary, but that's a whole other story we'll get to later.
In my opinion, I don't think Seattle has a secondary either. I think their secondary is mediocre at best.
See.
Yeah, I know the numbers are up there.
Well, they're 17th against the pass, so they're in the middle of the road. It could be worse. It's not great. You're right. They're in the bottom tier.
Listen, okay. The Cowboys to win this game, the defense is going to have to stop Russell Wilson, cause turnovers, and they're going to have to when they get in the red zone, no field goals, you got to score touchdowns. And that's where Zeke Elliott comes in, because Zeke Elliott is a force to be reckoned with. We know what he could do. He's a threat out of the backfield.
Well, the Seahawks actually are okay against the run.
Yeah, I know that. No, I know that.
I know Elliott will get his yards, though. It's Elliott. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to stop Elliott, because that's just dumb.
It's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, he'll get his 100 yards, probably. Cooper will have a good day, maybe, too. He's going to have to if they're going to win it, but I don't think they will.
I think that the Cowboys are going to get this win. They're at home. I think they're going to...
So you really think Jason Garrett will finally win a playoff game? I think he has one, maybe, but it's been a while.
Honestly, you know what, man? It kills me to say it, but yeah, I do. But I will tell you this. Can we agree?
What's up?
He doesn't win this game. He needs to be fired. I'm done with this
shit.
Yes.
Here's another, not really even a hot take. I agree with you. Jason Garrett should be fired if they lose this game. I 100% agree. But here's the issue with that. Jerry Jones likes a puppet that he can control, so I'm not sure if Jason Garrett's going anywhere. It's just the fact it's just facts. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. It's incompetence. How many times has he gone 8-8 and he still stood by? Oh, that's my coach. I see improvement. How many times have you seen that?
I'm so sick of Jason Garrett.
He's so mediocre.
We've talked about
at least that's one thing we can agree on with this.
He's the definition of mediocrity.
He's like Marvin Lewis Jr. Because he's been there like almost half the time, kind of 8 or 9 years, hasn't he?
He's been there since 2008. He took over for Wade Phillips in 2008.
So we're getting close to 10 then. I thought it was 8 or 9, but all right, yeah. So Jason Garrett's no good. We definitely agree about that.
Yes.
So let's see. What's your score prediction for this? I'll give you mine.
I want you to go first.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say this is a kinds of low-scoring, grinded-out game. I
will agree with you on that.
This is something I'm going to say, give me 23-21 Hawks. I'm going around there.
I'm going to go with 2017, and I think that it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. I think that the Cowboys are going to kick a field goal with 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson is going to lead the charge. They're going to get down to the Cowboys' 30-yard line, and I'm going to say this now. I think that Jalen Smith is going to come up with the game-sealing interception. I just don't, and it's
wow. I mean, you have these visions. If this one comes true, I might just have to give up. Honestly, if you come through again with this and he gets that game-winning pick, I'm gonna text you and be like, "Bobby was right again." I'm gonna be flabbergasted. Well, you know what I mean.
Yes.
If we weren't together for some reason, but yeah, we most likely will be tomorrow.
Yes.
So yeah, we have a different opinion here. This game is going to be very interesting. I think all these games should be fun. It's going to be a closely contested battle. So let's move on.
Yes.
Let's turn the page.
So we're going on to Sunday's first game.
Sunday's
this
games.
is the Los Angeles Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, there is a lot of background, a lot of moving pieces here. Two things that are keys here to me. So, the Ravens just played the Chargers in Los Angeles, and they won the game, 22-10. Gates fumbled the ball, and they picked it up, and they scored. Trying to see which player that was that did that. I wrote this down, and it appears to be Young. Young scored the touchdown for the Ravens. He picked it up, and he went around 63 yards to the house. Gates fumbled around the 30 or so, and that was that. I was stunned when Gates fumbled. That's a veteran. You don't ever see him put the ball on the floor, especially in a game-winning drive situation. Rivers was horrendous, though. 181 yards and 2 picks, by far his worst game of the year. He's going to have to be way better if the Chargers are going to get this dub. And Lamar Jackson, he's the big X factor, obviously. He played well in the last matchup, but we'll see if he can replicate it. Here's the big thing here, though, the critical piece. This will be the first time a team is going to get to see Lamar twice in the NFL. So the Chargers have tape on him. They watch what he does. They watched his running. They watched his throwing. So do you think that they can limit this? Can they make him beat him with his arm this time and not let him run all over the place? And do you think they could contain him? I think that falls on Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram.
I think it's easier said than done to stop this guy. You see that
there seems to be something with him, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be. He's a force. He's electric, and we haven't seen somebody like this since Michael Vick. I'm not going to compare him to Michael Vick because there's only one, but he is very, very good. I think that, since he's taken over, they've been a much better team. And listen,
yeah, they're 6-1 since he's taken over, so the numbers back it up. Even though his passing isn't that pretty.
His game plan is he wants to run. He does not want to throw. You got to stop him and keep him in the pocket to be successful. I think the Chargers defense is very good. I think they have the guys, they have the tools to get it done. Like I said, it's easier said than done. And also in this game, you got to make sure how your quarterback plays, Phillip Rivers. So
that's huge. Like I said, yeah, he's going to have to be way better than last time. That will not get it done this week.
Here's a stat for you. So the first 13 games of the year, Phillip Rivers averaged 279.8 yards per game. He had 29 touchdowns. He had 6 picks with a quarterback rating of 114.5. In the last 3 games, a complete plummet. He's averaging only 223.3 passing yards per game. He only has 3 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and his rating went down to 68.2. This is unacceptable.
Not cool. That's not good.
This is unacceptable. You cannot do that.
That's not the time to go on a decline. You want to be playing your best football right now. And he's not, apparently, which isn't good for them. But I trust him to turn it around. He's a veteran. He knows what this is about. This is everything for him. He's got a chance to get to a Super Bowl for the first time. This is the most complete team he's had, arguably. I know it's going to be a tough challenge to travel across the coast, but I'm going to roll Chargers here. Lay that 3 points down. Maybe even take that money line. I'm going Chargers all day here.
I'm going Baltimore.
Oh, you're switching up on me.
I'm switching up on you.
And I have some stats to back you up, which I probably shouldn't give you, but I will. I think
why,
you might know some of them. I was telling you before.
Here's what I'm
surprised.
Here's what I'm telling you right now why I'm going to go with Baltimore. So here's my prediction. So Baltimore, their defense lately, they get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
They cause turnovers, and they cover receivers pretty well. And I think, they're going to get after Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers will throw interceptions. He'll fumble. They're gonna try. I'm gonna say try to stop Melvin Gordon, which is Melvin Gordon's one of my favorite players in the league.
If anyone can, it would be them, sadly. Yes. But I think that he'll get it going. I think Gordon's gonna be huge. He needs to set the foundation so Rivers can throw up that play action and make those receivers open. You're gonna look for Keenan Allen is also gonna be critical. He needs to have a great game for the Chargers to move on.
Read that.
Allen has been targeted the highest rate in the NFL, and he's 35.7% target rate. The Ravens defense is the only team in the NFL to allow a completion percentage under 50 to players a line wide. So that's clashing styles, I guess, and they're saying that Allen won't even get 50% of his passes completed. So if that happens, that's not going to be good.
They play good defense. That's why I'm going to tell you.
No, they're the first rated or second rated. I think they may be second rated. They're second total. I have it. They're second.
I think the Ravens.
But their rush defense is fourth and their pass defense is fifth. So there's no flaw with their defense. You're right.
No,
but the Chargers have a lot of weapons. I think that they can utilize better than they did in the last matchup. You're going to look for Mike Williams to get off. Eckler if he plays. What's going on with that, by the way? Is Eckler going to go, you think?
He's a game-time decision,
but
boy. I think he'll play, but I think he's going to be limited, so look for
Eckler is a big X factor, too. He had almost 1,000 yards on the season, all-purpose, with 6 touchdowns. He's nothing to sneeze at. He's a threat if he's in there. Also, Mike Williams had that big 3-touchdown game against the Chiefs.
I called it.
You did call it. 600, and he has 10 touchdowns on the year. So Williams has been a big threat down there. I think he can be key as well. Get those touchdowns. He's a big body. Box him out. Get that play. And does Antonio Gates have anything left in the tank? And he atone for that fumble.
Also, another thing is Hunter Henry has a chance to play.
I think I saw that he's out, although I was hoping he would play too because I wanted to see him come back from that ACL since I also tore mine. But I guess Henry might have to wait a little bit because I was checking the report. Apparently he won't go, but maybe he will. Who knows?
But, look, I think the Ravens get it done. I think
you can't tell me a rookie quarterback is going to beat Phillip Rivers twice?
Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah, he is.
Twice?
He is.
Lamar Jackson can barely throw the thing. He only has 1,200 yards passing. I know they're 6-1, but 6 touchdowns and 3 picks to 58% completion.
He's going to get it done.
I don't think so, man.
I think he's going to get it done.
I don't think so.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's got a great running back with him. He's got Gus Edwards. He's got Kenneth Dixon to help him out too. And let me tell you something. He's going to get it done. He's going to find a way to get it done. And that defense is going to back him up, and they're going to move on. And the Chargers are going to lose. That's what I'm going to do.
No, Chargers all day. Listen, they are going to stop Lamar running as much as they can. He's ran for almost 700 yards and 5 touchdowns, so I know it's a tall order. It's not easy. I'm not saying it is. That rushing game is critical to the Ravens. But if they can stuff that run, and they are 15th against the run, so they're in the middle. If they can rise up, make a few stops in that run game, you can't tell me Lamar's going to beat them with his arm. Don't try to tell me that either.
I didn't say he's going to beat him with his arm. I think he'll make some plays to John Brown.
That's pause. Okay, yeah. What?
He's definitely not going to throw to Michael Crabtree, who has the most drops in the NFL with 11 this season.
Wow. Oh, that's an interesting stat. Not a good one.
And leads the NFL in drops since 2015 and has 38. That's pathetic.
Crabtree has turned into garbage. Let's just be honest about the situation.
He's a sorry receiver.
Like Richard Sherman said all those years ago, I guess he was right. But honestly, I think the X factor for Baltimore. How about Willie Snead? Give me some Willie Snead in the receiving game.
You love you some Willie Snead, huh?
650 yards on the year, 62 catches. He'll come through sometimes, and maybe he'll come through today. I hope he doesn't because I'm rocking with San Diego, and you
So,
can't
LA.
tell. Why do I keep doing that?
Everybody does. It's okay.
Okay, so LA, I'm rolling with Melvin Gordon, 885, 10 TDs, his receiving almost 500 yards, 50 catches, 14 total touchdowns. Phil Rivers over 4,000 yards, 68% completion, 32 touchdowns, 12 picks, 105 quarterback rating, 71.2 QBR. This man knows how to properly play the quarterback position.
I agree. He's a I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a very good player. But I'm sorry, I got to go with the young buck. I think he's gonna get it done. He's gonna do it. And you know what?
Don't do this.
Listen, I gotta do it.
You can't, man. I thought about doing it too, but here's what's up. I'll give you guys all the information. I'll even support his argument for a little bit because I'm gonna be neutral here. I'm showing all sides of the argument. So John Harbaugh is 5-0 in the wild card era, so that helps him. He's also won 7 straight playoff games against the spread, so that also helps because the Ravens are favored by 3, and I'm going to say Chargers cover and win, but let's go with our scores here. Go first since you're thinking different than me. I want to hear your thoughts.
So I think this game is going to definitely it's going to be, I think it's going to go into the upper 20s. I'm going to go with,
oh, wow, that's higher than I would have thought.
I'm going to go with 28-24 Ravens. I think that you're going to see Lamar Jackson actually drive down the field and lead Justin Tucker to hit a
wow. Let me tell you something. If that happens and you get this right, then I'll have to admit I was wrong. Okay, one other note here while we're on this. Bobby has smoked me in the regular season with 8 games, so I'm trying to get him in the playoffs. Hey, playoffs, break time, regular season's cool, but I'll take that playoff title if I can.
You could talk all that smack all you want, but we'll see what happens.
We still got a long way to go before that.
All I'm going to say is we're on to the playoffs, okay?
I also went around 55% against the spread, so I was like 60, 48, and 2. Wanted to throw that tidbit in there. So we'll see how I do in the playoffs. Hopefully I can turn a profit if I decide to go down that route.
So what's your score?
Okay, so I see this going differently. I think your score is not too far off, but I'm going to view this like, I'm going to say the Chargers put up 24, Baltimore puts up 20. So I'm going to go a little lower than you. I think that Lamar Jackson will do some decent things, but he's going to get picked off in a critical situation where he needs to throw. And I'm going to say Derwin James comes up with that pick, even though I'm pissed that he made the team over Adams, the first team. Shouldn't have, but I think Derwin James will come up big. And for some reason, I can see that happening. He's played well. So that's what I'm saying. I think you'll see Gordon score once or twice. Rivers is going to connect with Allen, maybe even Mike Williams.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so that is our third game. Now we're on to maybe the most interesting one out of all of them.
Yep.
There's a lot of moving parts here. Eagles, Bears. Eagles on Nick Foles again. He did it. This is 2 straight years. And we actually have a question about this. So we're going to open the game with the question. I'll go over the spread and everything as well. And here is the question. Our friend Matt asked, does he think that the Bears defense is good enough, not good enough? Does he think that the Nick Foles magic will continue and he'll win another playoff game? Or is the Bears defense too dominant and he gets shut down? How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I think Nick Foles' magic is still there, but I think this defense is just too dominant, and it's probably the best he's seen all year. So I think that Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Roquan Smith and company,
Danny
Trevathan are all going to
Eddie Jackson if he plays.
You got Prince of Mukamara there too. Kyle Fuller as well. I think that defense is going to eat him alive. They are going to pressure him. They are going to stop that RPO crap that he does. That they are going to cover Alshon Jeffrey.
That's going to be easier said than done, apparently, especially when Foles is throwing him that ball.
I think
Foles and Jeffrey, that's some connection.
Yeah, but his scapegoat is who? Zach Ertz.
Right.
So it's easier said than done, but they're going to have a plan to stop Zach Ertz.
Well, yeah, that'll be interesting. But, Matt, I'm going to actually agree with Bobby here. I'm going with Bears defense over Foles magic as well. The Bears defense is ranked first in the NFL for a reason, and you can't even run the ball against the Bears. They give up 80 yards a game, which ranks first. In the pass, they're 7th, but they still only give up 220. The Eagles don't even have that great of a running game. I mean, Josh Adams is all right, only 500 yards and 3 TDs on the year. But let's talk about Foles. I'm going to give him some props because this might be the end of the Eagles' career. Foles was 4-1 this season as the starter, so you figure Carson Wentz was 5-6, which is not a good look for him. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So, Foles, of course, won the Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
And over his Patriots, which makes me happy. So, Foles but this season, we're on to this year, though. He's 7 touchdowns and 4 picks and a 72 completion percentage with all fine numbers. And he's done what he's had to. They've been winning games. So, here's the issue, though. He hasn't had a test like this. The Bears' defense is going to come down on him. Khalil Mack, I'm calling for a strip sack, maybe even a score for Mack. I'm going to say Foles gets picked off once or twice. The Bears, they have a ton of weapons. I think that Mitch Trubisky is poised for a good game. I know some people are skeptical still. I understand he's a second-year guy, but Mitch, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks, a little over 3,000 yards. He missed some time with injury, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. 66 completion percentage, which is very good, 2/3 of his passes. Matt Nagy's been doing a great job, a great hire from the Andy Reid system. We talked about the battle with Reid, with Doug Peterson and Andy Reid, and Matt Nagy and Andy Reid. So, he's also ran the ball. That's the thing about Mitch. I don't think people realize how good of a runner this guy is. He's ran for 420 and 3 touchdowns.
That's like a secret weapon of his.
He does very well. When the play breaks down, he can pick up the first. I've seen him do it multiple times. Bobby has too. He ran crazy against the Patriots, and he picked up a lot of yards.
Why do you bring all this up?
I gotta get my shots when I can. But it's okay. He beat us up too. He ran well against us also. But yeah, you guys won the game at least. You can't be too upset about it.
Yeah, we won the game.
So, his quarterback rating was 95.6, which is pretty good. His QBR, 72.8, is pretty impressive.
He's had a good year.
Yeah, Mitch has played well. And he's got Howard, he's got Cohen, Allen Robinson ready to go, Anthony Miller, and who else am I missing? No, yeah, Burton too, but there's another wideout I thought. Who? A-Rob, Miller.
Kevin White.
No, not Kevin White. There was they had a third guy I thought, but forget it, I guess.
Taylor Gabriel.
Yes, there we go, Gabriel. Wow, I was really blanking on that one, but yeah. So honestly, Robinson is the guy out of all these dudes. 55 catches for over 750 and 4 touchdowns. He's missed time as well. I'm expecting Robinson to go off against the Eagles. I think Gabriel, Miller, and Burton can all do well. I think Burton's actually going to have something for the Eagles, his old team. I think he's going to play well. And I can see Gabriel working out of the slot and getting some plays. The Eagles have no secondary, so that's why I think this is a good day for Mitch. And then you got Cohen and Howard. Cohen has around 1,200 yards all-purpose, actually a touch less than that. He has 8 touchdowns, and he also averages 12.5 yards per return. So this guy's a weapon. Cohen is going to be critical. And Jordan Howard has ran for almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's done well. For the Eagles, I'm going to highlight Alshon, 65, 843, and 6 touchdowns. But he has been a different receiver since Nick Foles has gotten in there. And I guess Bobby is bored with my talk for some reason, but it's all good. I guess Jeffrey and Foles aren't too exciting. How about Aguilar and Foles? A little less exciting maybe, but 736 and 4 TDs. So they actually have pretty similar numbers, but Jeffrey missed some time. But like we talked about before, the big dog is Zach Ertz, the snub of the All-Pro team. 116 catches, you leave this guy out. 1,163 yards.
How many touchdowns he score?
8 touchdowns, and you leave this guy out. But the touchdowns don't matter when you catch that many balls and have all that yardage. Same thing with Julio.
Zach Ertz is he's not a touchdown guy. He's more of a reception guy. He's gonna move he's gonna get you the big plays.
Yeah.
If you get him a touchdown or there, he'll get it, and he doesn't drop the ball.
So here's what the problem is for the Eagles. I feel like we're on a broken record, but they rank 30th against the pass. I can't see that traveling well with Chicago.
It's just
they stop the run all right, so maybe. But even if they stop the run, they can't stop the pass. So I don't see how that's going to work, really.
The secondary is just depleted. The only person they have is Malcolm Jenkins. That's it. So It's
The
just
only thing that's positive for the Eagles is that the Bears are 21st in passing, so there are teams that could exploit it more than them, but still, Mitch can make plays. We've seen it.
Yeah.
He'll do what he has to.
Yes, he will.
I trust him in this situation. Now, here's where things get interesting. The line is at 6.5 for the Bears, and I feel like it's trying to bait people to take Eagles, but it's not going to be the right pick. I think Bears cover. I think Bears win by at least a touchdown. I'm going to say the Bears get this dub. I'm going to say 23-16 Bears.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I think that this game is very, very interesting. I think that Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy going against each other, I think it's going to be an offensive type of game. You're going to see a lot of formations you haven't seen. You're going to see a lot of plays that are very creative.
Yes.
And I will tell you this. The Bears' defense is going to wreak havoc, in my opinion. I think, they are arguably the best defense in football right now. They're scary.
Yeah.
They get after you. Khalil Mack is unblockable.
He's a class of his own.
Yes, he is. And Nick Foles is in for. You think Nick Foles got whacked last week? You're going to see him get whacked this week. Tomorrow on Sunday.
Oh, he's also banged up. That's another issue for the Eagles. Good thing you bring that up.
Yes. So, hey.
What's he dealing with exactly? Let us know.
Ribs.
Okay.
He has bruised ribs. And they're very happy he has that because if he had broken ribs, there was speculation that he might not even play.
And then they would
have to play Sudfeld, and then all of us could agree that everybody will take the Chicago Bears
by 1,000,000 points.
But I will tell you this: the one thing is Mitch Trubisky. I'm very impressed with him. I was very, very critical of that pick when they traded up for him last year.
Yes, but I remember.
He has proven me wrong. The kid is a stud. He gets the job done. Listen, he does throw interceptions. I think he's getting better and better. And when the play breaks down, he is fast. He can run the ball. And I will tell you this: since week 15, he has had the highest completion percentage in the NFL.
Yeah,
so that's something.
66 is nothing to sneeze at. That's on the season too. So he's been doing better the last few weeks.
So listen, I'm going to go with the hot hand, and I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears.
Bear down.
And the Bears have won 9 of their last 10 games to close out the season for the first time since 1985.
And that team won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
So is it fate? Is it destiny? We'll see.
Also, there's another note here for why I'm so confident in taking the Bears with this pick. Guess what the Bears' record is at home?
Are they 7-1?
They are 7-1.
Because I know that because 8-0 is the Patriots at home.
And guess what the Bears' record against the spread is at home?
7-1.
That's also 7-1, which is why I'm going to roll that again. Also, they're 12-4 in the season, and they're also 12-4 against the spread of the season. I don't know how that exactly works, but
that's a good stat. So
I'm riding the Bears spread.
Listen, we all admire what Nick Foles did when
it's been a great story.
Yes,
and we'll see what the next chapter takes them if they don't win and we're indeed right. But what else do you have?
I'm just going to say this now. It's not enough. That magic Nick Foles you have, it is about to run out against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are home. They don't
really. Yeah,
let
me
tell
you
something. From somebody who went to visit Chicago, those fans are crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm going to tell you they are. But listen, the Eagles fans are crazier.
That's true.
But I will say,
but they won't really.
And they're going to travel.
Some of them will, but Bears are going to rock that place
when
down.
they go to Chicago, let me tell you something. Matt Nagy is
a great coach.
No, he's the coach of the year. I think.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, I think he's done the best job this year. I think he's completely turned that team around. He's what they needed. He's so creative. And the one thing, if you've noticed, he's always has his head in the place. He never looks up. He's always thinking about the next play. So I'm going to tell you this. You want to know what I think the score is going to be? I'm going to go with 27-17. And I'm going to tell you this. The way they go ahead, they're going to get the Eagles on the Philly special with the Chicago Bears special. And you're going to get Trey Burton throwing it to who? Mitch Trubisky. They're going to give the Eagles. They're going to have the Eagles read between the lines, and they're going to say, "You think you could win playoff games with this Philly special play? Wait till you see what we." That
would be so ironic if Burton did it against him, considering he was the one that threw the pass last year.
The X factor tomorrow, in my opinion.
Who you got?
Everybody thinks it's going to be Cohen. I think it's Taylor Gabriel.
I
think he's going to. I think that.
You think he's going to carve up the slot?
Yes. I think that slot position is going to be where he's going to go. I think Allen Robinson is going to catch a huge touchdown.
I think Robinson's going to be big too.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think the game's going to start. I think the Bears get to start the game with the ball, and they're going to drive down the field. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And they're going to get the crowd going.
Okay, and then they get some sacks.
And also
they
another
get
thing
if they started off hot like you're saying, and then they get like a 3-and-out, oh man, forget about it.
So listen, the Bears at home, they're 7-1. They're going to move to 8-1.
They're a
at home.
force to be reckoned with at home.
They are not going to lose this game. They are going to advance.
Another thing we can say is they held the Rams to 6 points. And if they could do that to the Rams, why can't they beat the Eagles?
Exactly.
You know?
Listen, and you saw the Rams. They're one of the best teams in football.
And they looked like garbage.
Yeah. When they went up to Chicago, they can't play in the cold. They don't like that. It's like a Peyton Manning thing because he hated playing in the cold.
And that 41-0 shutout we were talking about earlier today, jet up. In 2002. It was actually 16 years ago today.
Oh, as you say that.
No. Oh, God.
Here we go. You set yourself up for this. Bill Belichick, 19 years ago resigned as the Jets coach and became the Patriots head coach in the rest of his history. So there we go.
You know what? Up yours, Bill. Up yours. I still hate you to this day. And I can't wait till your crusty old ass retires. You and Tom Brady, get out. Get out. I've had enough. I'm sick of it. I really am.
This is what
Jets and Patriot fans, this is how we conversate. We always try to take backward jabs at each other. But this one was pretty straightforward.
This is what the Jets fan base goes through.
It's agonizing.
Listen, you could thank Mo Lewis for that.
Lewis.
Thanks, Mo Lewis. And Bill Belichick, you made the greatest decision of your life. I love it.
I hate it so much. But there's one more thing with this game. Then we're actually going to break down our playoff brackets and do our picks for everything. Since we got to break it down. Since this is it. This will be our last video before all the games get played. We can't, so we got to be straightforward. But one thing with this game. Alshon Jeffrey playing against the Bears, his old team. I think that's going to be huge. I think he's going to be motivated, but I know the Bears are going to have him circled on that game plan. They're definitely going to be shadowing him and Ertz, I feel like. Jeffrey has also said the field is going to be a mess. He's ready for horrible field conditions. I know it gets rough there. It's cold. That can be a factor in this game. The field conditions and the turnover battle. Whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game, in my opinion.
Yep. That's all what's going to come down to, and I think nobody forces turnovers better than Chicago.
Okay, so since we have done everything, we actually do have another question to get to, but we'll get to that once we talk about the games, the matchups, and how we see stuff going. So we're going to start on the AFC side. I had the Colts winning, so I have the Colts traveling to Kansas City, and I have the Chargers traveling to New England, and then I have the Chargers upsetting the Patriots. I have the Chiefs beating the Colts. And then I have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl in the AFC. Bobby, how do you see the AFC?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. As we differed, I have Houston beating Indy, as we said. And due to that, they would go to New England. And I had Baltimore beating the Chargers, and they would go to Kansas City. And listen, the Patriots, they're home. They don't lose playoff games at home. So they're going to advance to the AFC Championship game for another consecutive season. So, and Kansas City against the Ravens, I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, because they also play too, so that'll be another team getting more footage on Lamar Jackson.
So the AFC Championship game is going to be the Patriots versus the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And I'm going to go over to the NFC side right now. So I had Dallas beating Seattle, and with that, they would go to
New Orleans, because the Bears will go to the Rams in that scenario.
Yeah, you're right. So with that, I'm going to tell you this. I think this time around, I'm going to go with the Rams. Rams going to the NFC Championship game, and the Saints are going to the NFC Championship game.
So I agree with you on that.
Here's how it's going to play out. I think the AFC Championship game, you're going to see Mahomes and company score a lot of points. But I think when it comes down to the fourth quarter, you're going to see something. The Patriots, yes, they were 3-5 on the road this year. They really struggled to get mental toughness on the road. I think that's going to stop. That was very uncharacteristic. I should ask you about that. What happened this year? You guys are normally very good on the road. What do you think happens? Like, what contributed to this? And you lost to 2 garbage teams on the road, too. Lions, Dolphins, and Jacksonville, actually. 3 garbage teams on the road. I think it's a lack of depth. I think it's, mental toughness. I think once we got when we got hit in the mouth, I don't think we knew how to respond. We weren't.
That's
home.
odd.
And
I've never heard this from you before.
Yes, it's very uncharacteristic, but I'm going to call it as I see it. I think that, when teams know how to stop us, like with the Lions, I'll give you an example. Matt Patricia ran our defense for years. He knew how to stop us, and that's rush up the middle and get Brady pressured up the middle.
Hopefully the Chiefs follow that blueprint.
And what happened with the when we played the
Jaguars, Dolphins.
Listen, when we played the Jaguars, we were a terrible team.
That was also before the Jaguars had the self-destruct. Like we still thought Jacksonville could be formidable at that point. So that one's not like so inexcusable.
If they played Jacksonville, I'm going to say like 3 or 4 weeks after that, they would have beaten Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions and Dolphins really stands out to me more than that one.
The Dolphins lost the game because of a stupid play and Gronk couldn't make a tackle. So
well, he shouldn't have even had to.
And
that's
also with the Steelers game, we just made way too many mistakes.
I wasn't even pointing at that one, actually.
But
you could talk about it.
But we couldn't stop we couldn't stop Jalen Samuel. We couldn't stop Juju Smith-Schuster. We couldn't stop Antonio. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. and when we played the Titans, the one thing is Corey Davis. That's the thing. And Matt,
that's another coach that worked with you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
the ex-coaches seem to really pick you guys well.
That's the story about this. And is Andy Reid a former coach of the Patriots? Absolutely not. So I think I think that Andy Reid, when it comes down to it, the big games, he does not win them.
You're right. We're going to get into this once I go, but you're right.
I'm going to tell you this.
I'm
going to sound biased. I never bet against my team. Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. In the NFC, I'm going to tell you this. I think that NFC Championship game with the Rams and the Saints, in my opinion, that's going to be that's going to be a game to watch.
Okay.
It's going to be high scoring. It's going to be like exactly what you saw the last time they played. Oh, here's the thing, though. You ready for this?
What's up?
I think personally, Aaron Donald is going to get a strip sack. They're going to take over. They're going to try. They're going to go down to win the game. And you're going to see Jared Goff throw a terrible interception.
Oh, wow. You just brought me into my next question. That's really good.
And I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with the Saints.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you this. Do you want me to stop with that? Or you want me to go with my Super Bowl prediction?
Go with it, and then I'll go with mine later.
Okay.
So you're going to do Patriots, Saints.
Patriots, Saints, Super Bowl. Patriots in the Super Bowl again for the third straight year, in my opinion.
I hope not.
And listen, the Saints are going to score a lot of points. Listen, the last time the Patriots played a team...
Saints, if this happens.
Last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl and they played a certain team in this division, they were down 28 to...
Oh, come on, man! Jesus, you have to bring that horrible night up. That's one of the worst nights of my life, honestly.
So
that was sickening.
Listen, I'm going to tell you
I'm still sick about it.
I think that the Saints of this year are better than the Falcons of 2016.
That could be true.
And what they're going to do is they're not going to let off the gas pedal. But guess what? The Patriots have just one more magical Super Bowl run where they could come back. I'm going to go... I'm sorry, I'm going to sound biased, and I'm just going to go. I'm going with my team. I think the Patriots win the Super Bowl 38-35.
Oh, I really hope you're wrong. Because if I have to sit through another Patriots Super Bowl, I don't know, man. Even if they make it, I just hope that doesn't happen. But I'll ask you one question.
Sure.
And maybe one silver lining for me if this happens. Do Bill Belichick and Tom Brady finally walk away if they get this done?
I will tell you this. I don't think Bill Belichick walks away because he said he wants to coach another 4 or 5 years. However, Tom Brady, I think he will retire, and Rob Gronkowski will retire.
Although I'd rather...
Flair?
I'd rather not see that happen, though, as much as I want to see both those bums leave.
Bums.
Yeah, I call them bums because I don't like them.
They're goats. That's what they are.
Well, Gronk is really diminished, and Brady has a touch, but Gronk worse than Brady with the fall off. So, okay, let's get back to some other stuff here. He says Patriots, Saints. So, I'm going to go back to my NFC and get to that other question that I've been floating now. So, the only difference in the beginning is I have Seahawks instead of Cowboys, so I think Seahawks go to Saints, and our NFC Championship is the same. It's Saints and Rams. So I'm agreeing with you on that. But here's the thing. Matt asks, does he think that Todd Gurley can be the X factor that can put the Rams in a position to beat the Saints? Or is it going to come down to Jared Goff like you said? I already know your answer since you said Goff's going to throw the critical pick. And I'm going to agree with you because we all know what Todd Gurley is. He's a stud. He's great. He's going to help that offense. But Jared Goff's going to have to make that play. And if it goes the way you said, then it'll obviously be on him. But if Goff comes through, makes a couple nice throws, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks come through for him. I think Reynolds as well. I was just highlighting the top two, but Reynolds has been good as well. You're right.
Filling in for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's been good. That's been a big loss, but he stepped up admirably for him, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yes, Goff is the key to the engine for the Rams, and he's the reason why me and Bobby both think that they won't beat the Saints. Because I'm going to take Drew Brees over Jared Goff on the day of the week.
Absolutely.
Goff is not bad, but he didn't finish the season well, and he's not Drew Brees, obviously.
Of course.
So here's how now things get different for me. I'm going to say the Saints go to the Super Bowl with Bobby, but here we go. The reason I'm wearing the red tie is because I got the Chiefs, baby. Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes, they're going to win the big game. He's going to get over that hump. Patty Mahomes, the MVP, going to be a Super Bowl MVP too, Rookie of the Year, all that stuff. Well, not Rookie of the Year because he didn't. Well, would they still count him as a rookie even though he played last? He didn't. He played one game,
it's not
so
a rookie, no.
It's not like baseball, I guess. But yeah, he won't be Rookie of the Year, but that's fine. He'll be MVP. He's going to be my Super Bowl MVP. Chiefs get the dub. I'm going to say they win this game 41-40. It's going to be a barn burner.
No,
it's going to be a classic if the Chiefs and Saints play. It's going to be a shootout. Give me the red, baby. Arrowhead better get pumped up. Get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. Let's go, Patty.
That's the game that everybody wants to see because
I want it.
It's going to be.
I definitely want it.
It's going to be
no question.
There's going to be high scoring and no defense.
That would be so. Yeah, I mean, the defense will be very optional in that game, but I think either way, it's going to be a fun Super Bowl. So, is there anything else we got to get to today?
I think we filled in a lot of stuff. I think, you know what, the playoffs, I think we're all excited for it to start. We can't wait for tomorrow. We can't wait for Sunday. And it's going to be something.
All right, I have one last thing to go over because this is big. I know everyone's into the spreads and everything, so I'm going to reiterate all my spread picks. Colts plus 1.5 versus the Texans, maybe even money line. Then I'm going to take Chargers plus 3, maybe even money line. I'm going to do Seahawks plus 2, maybe even money line. I'm feeling very adventurous with these underdogs, obviously, this week. But the one underdog I'm not doing is Eagles. Bear down, take the spread with the Bears. So those are my picks. Take them how you will.
Look, I'll tell you what. All your spreads, I'm taking all your advice into consideration. And, go to FanDuel Sportsbook.
Oh, well, now we're advertising for FanDuel, I guess.
Hey, listen, I love
no,
this
they should help us, maybe.
Yeah, they should. We could advertise for them, definitely.
Yeah, well, we could advertise for whoever if we really want to.
Yeah.
But that's a whole story for another day.
Yep.
But for GNT Sports, I'm Julian Gallardi.
I'm Bobby Thompson.
I hope everyone enjoys Wildcard Weekend.